If you wrote this life as a Hollywood screenplay, it would be rejected for being too implausible. How could one immigrant dominate the world of sports, define an era of action heroes, and capture the highest political office in California, all in one lifetime? To the world, he is the ultimate embodiment of the American dream. But the real story isn't in monuments. It's in flesh, blood, and secrets. Behind the billion-dollar smile is a ruthless drive forged by hardship, one that built empires but threatened to destroy everything he loved. While we saw the Terminator, few saw the man enduring a secret double life for 14 years, or the frail figure struggling to breathe after a botched surgery. The cost of ambition is high, and to understand its origin, we must leave Hollywood lights behind and return to the ruins of a defeated country. Born into ruins, Arnold Alois Schwarzenegger entered the world on July 30th, 1947, in Thal, Austria, a tiny village just outside Graz. The country he was born into was broken, defeated by war, and occupied by foreign armies. Austria was mired in depression, with scarcity touching every household. In the Schwarzenegger home, there was no electricity, no central heating, no indoor plumbing. Water had to be hauled from a well in freezing winters, but the harshest element was his father, Gustav Schwarzenegger, a tall former Nazi and local police chief who commanded fear at home. Military discipline ruled daily life. Play was rare, and childhood was a regimen. Amid this bleak environment, Arnold and his brother Meinhard learned early the lessons of power, pain, and survival. Lessons that would shape a boy who would one day reject limits and forge a path entirely of his own. The father, the rival, and the bruised boy. Arnold's father cultivated competition like a sport, pitting his sons against each other at breakfast tables, rewarding the winner, ignoring the loser. Meinhard, the favored son, usually triumphed, leaving Arnold ridiculed and humiliated. Gustav's discipline could escalate into physical punishment, hair pulled, belt swung, lessons in toughness disguised as parental guidance. But rather than breaking him, these hardships hardened Arnold. He detached emotionally, observing his home and village with alienation. The favored brother's eventual downfall, alcoholism and a fatal car crash, was a haunting contrast. Arnold crystallized. He realized that ordinary life, ordinary rules, were not meant for him. The boy beaten and mocked in Thal began imagining a life far beyond Austria, far beyond his father's oppressive shadow. Ambition became survival, and survival required envisioning a world in which he would be more than a victim. The dark theater and the American dream. Arnold's first glimpse of escape came from the flickering images of a cinema in Graz. Newsreels of towering skyscrapers, shining cars, and radiant Americans mesmerized him. This was the antithesis of gray, defeated Austria. America became a symbol of possibility, the destination where his alienation could become power. His vision crystallized when he saw a magazine featuring Reg Park, the British bodybuilder who conquered Mr. Universe and Hollywood. For the first time, Arnold understood the path. Strength could be transformed into fame, opportunity, and fortune. His parents were skeptical. His mother feared obsession. His father mocked his dreams. But Arnold's imagination had caught fire. That flicker of hope from a dark theater ignited a lifelong obsession. He was no longer just a boy dreaming. He was a boy planning, mapping every step toward a world where he would be a king. The gym as a prison break. Arnold's obsession became physical and unrelenting. He trained with a fanaticism that bordered on compulsion, breaking into gyms on Sundays, training in freezing cold until his hands adhered to the iron bars. The gym was more than a place to build muscle. It was a vehicle of escape from oppression, a laboratory of transformation. Even during mandatory military service, while others rested, he pushed his body relentlessly, once deserting his post to compete in the junior Mr. Europe contest in Stuttgart. Ill-prepared yet undaunted, he won, returning to the barracks to face punishment in the brig. Yet, in that darkness, Arnold felt not fear, but triumph. Ordinary rules no longer applied to him. The boy from Thal had begun transforming himself into a force beyond circumstance. Discipline, pain, and obsession became his teachers, and victory, even in small doses, became intoxicating. The Austrian oak becomes American steel Munich, London, and then America awaited. In 1968, at 21, Arnold arrived in the United States with a gym bag, thick accent, and an unshakable belief in his destiny. He was summoned by Joe Weider, the godfather of bodybuilding, who saw in Arnold a future champion, but the land of giants was unforgiving. At his first American competition in Miami, he was defeated by Frank Zane, a smaller, more defined opponent. Devastated, Arnold wept alone in his hotel room. Mass alone was insufficient. Precision was required. Most men would have given up. Arnold rebuilt himself with scientific rigor, moving to Venice Beach and making Gold's Gym his sanctuary. Each exercise, each rep, each drop of sweat became deliberate. He was sculpting not just his body, but his entire destiny. America was a crucible, and Arnold intended to emerge forged into steel. The mind games that made a champion. Arnold's genius extended beyond the physical. Bodybuilding became a psychological war. He befriended competitors, complimented them, then subtly planted doubt. Questions, jokes, and casual remarks were strategic weapons. He didn't just aim to win on stage. He aimed to dominate minds before muscles mattered. Surrounded by a tribe of giants, Franco Columbu, Dave Draper, Ken Waller, he laughed, trained, and ate with camaraderie, but underneath was a predator. Competition was war, and Arnold was relentless. This psychological edge distinguished him from peers. Strength alone was insufficient. Cunning and manipulation of perception completed the transformation. He was not merely a bodybuilder. He was a strategist, a tactician, a visionary shaping every element of victory to fit his plan, ensuring that success was not only achieved, but inevitable. Pumping Iron, the first blockbuster. The 1977 documentary Pumping Iron captured Arnold's charisma, arrogance, and genius. Facing Lou Ferrigno, bigger and taller, Arnold dismantled him mentally before stepping on stage. He treated rivals with charm, humor, and subtle psychological attacks. The camera adored him, audiences were mesmerized, and bodybuilding entered mainstream consciousness. Arnold compared the gym's pump to sexual satisfaction, shocking viewers and cementing his magnetic persona. By his sixth consecutive Mr. Olympia title, he had done the impossible, elevated a fringe sport to cultural phenomenon. But more than fame, the film was a proof of concept for Arnold's method. Charm, strategy, discipline, and relentless vision could reshape perception, creating both legend and empire from sheer determination and carefully orchestrated brilliance. The millionaire who built his own empire. Arnold didn't stop at bodybuilding. While other competitors lounged, he built wealth. With Franco Columbu, he launched a bricklaying business, marketing European craftsmanship to wealthy Californians. Profits from mail-order fitness courses and strategic real estate investments made him a millionaire by 22. Fame, fortune, and physical dominance were in his grasp, yet the ultimate prize remained: Hollywood. The vision from Graz returned, sharper and more urgent. He declared to friends, "I will be the biggest movie star in the world." The world laughed, but Arnold ignored it. His methods, vision, discipline, relentless work, had worked before. He understood the pattern. The impossible could be conquered with preparation, intelligence, and audacity. Hollywood laughs, then learns. Hollywood gatekeepers doubted him. His accent, name, and physique were barriers to stardom in a world dominated by small, gritty actors. Agents suggested he could play Nazis or silent strongmen, never a leading man. But Arnold saw opportunity in what others dismissed as flaw. If he was a monster, he would be the most compelling, lucrative monster in history. He applied the same philosophy from the gym: practice, repetition, and relentless improvement. Acting classes, speech coaches, accent reduction, and unyielding determination became his regimen. Hollywood's doors were not obstacles, they were targets to be broken down. Arnold's arrival wasn't tentative, it was an invasion. His ambition required no permission, only execution. Conan and the birth of a new genre. The 1982 release of Conan the Barbarian changed everything. Initially clumsy, dubbed and mocked, Arnold applied the same relentless discipline that had made him a champion. He didn't need to be a refined actor. He needed presence. Conan became an icon. Primal, unstoppable, otherworldly. Audiences were enthralled, critics perplexed. By 1984, science fiction and fantasy films would never be the same. Arnold's method, strategic, obsessive, and visionary, transformed weakness into a defining characteristic. The oversized body, thick accent, and peculiar movements became assets, cementing him as a central figure in Hollywood's new muscular mythology. The rivalry that made action movies bigger. Arnold's rivalry with Sylvester Stallone defined a generation of action cinema. Professional competition bled into personal animosity. Press attacks, insults at parties, and physique comparisons fueled a legendary arms race. Each escalated body counts and weaponry in films, pushing the genre to absurd, thrilling extremes. Arnold's strategic genius extended beyond the gym and screen. He manipulated rivals, controlled perception, and positioned himself as the ultimate action icon. Even setbacks, like losing out on a disastrous project, became victories through careful calculation. His career wasn't luck, it was execution, strategy, and relentless self-belief. The empire of the 1990s. By the early 1990s, Arnold was untouchable. Total Recall, True Lies, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Each film cemented him as a genre-defining figure. Comedies like Twins and Kindergarten Cop showed versatility and self-awareness. The Austrian peasant had married into American royalty through Maria Shriver, gaining status and legacy. Private jets, luxury cars, and cinematic dominance reflected not only ambition, but calculated accumulation of power. Arnold had achieved the American dream on every conceivable front: sports, entertainment, wealth, and social prominence. Yet the higher he climbed, the more precarious his life became, foreshadowing personal challenges that would test the limits of the man behind the myth. The price of total ambition. Fame, wealth, and dominance came with costs, secrets, betrayals, and personal sacrifices shadowed triumphs. Ambition that fueled victory in competition and business demanded payment in relationships, privacy, and peace. The man who had conquered continents of the body and imagination now faced the fragility of human existence. Illness, physical vulnerability, and private failures reminded him and the world that the myth of invincibility has limits. Arnold's journey illustrates the duality of human endeavor, the extraordinary achievements, and the intimate costs. To understand him fully, one must see both the empire and the scars, the smile and the sacrifice. His life is a testament to the power and imperil of relentless ambition. The legend and the man Arnold Schwarzenegger's story is one of transformation. Austrian peasant to global icon, underdog to titan. Each stage, from bruised child to bodybuilding champion, Hollywood legend, and political leader, was a conquest of circumstance. But the legend is inseparable from the man, a figure driven by ambition, shaped by hardship, and haunted by imperfection. His life demonstrates that greatness is forged in adversity. Ambition requires sacrifice, and the human spirit can redefine the possible. Beyond movies, medals, and politics lies a story of relentless vision, unflinching discipline, and the unquenchable fire of a boy from Thale who refused to accept limits.